Up until Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, good guys used green or blue lightsabers and bad guys had red ones. And George Lucas said that himself. But Samuel L. Jackson comes up to George and says, I want a purple lightsaber. And the reason he wanted purple was just because during the Battle of Geonosis, because there was so much going on and so many Jedi and droids and Geonosian bugs, that he wanted to be able to see himself on screen. So George Lucas agreed, and Samuel L. Jackson got his purple lightsaber. And today we're going to be looking at the replica Mace Windu saber, and this comes from DUPENGDA. Let's go. Hello there to all my Jedi and Sith companions. I am your host, the Frugal Jedi, and thank you for joining me as we take a look at this Mace Windu replica, and this comes from the company DUPENGDA. Now, I've reviewed one saber from DUPENGDA already, and that was from Temu. And it was an incredibly affordable XRGB saber, and I did let them know that I reviewed it because I like the companies to watch my reviews so they can improve their product. Especially the issue with the sharp edge on it that cut my hand. And they were very thankful. I'm sure they got a lot of people gobbling up on that deal because it was really good. And as a gift, they sent me this saber here. That's why you're going to see that this is a sponsored video, because I didn't buy it, so I have to have that disclaimer up on the screen. DUPENGDA has probably the best domain name you could ask for a lightsaber shop. And that is lightsabershop.com. On there, you will find all kinds of replicas. You will find other sabers as well. And their sabers use the Xeno core, which is phenomenal. This particular Mace Windu saber, you can get in two different configurations. You can get it RGB, so that will be the Xeno RGB V3 core. And you can get two different blade options, either 82 centimeters or 92 centimeters, depending on what you prefer. If you're a shorter person, I recommend the shorter blade, and if you're taller, get the taller blade. The price for the RGB version is $367.50 US, and they do offer free shipping to most areas in the world. And of course, you can get this saber with Xenopixel, and it uses Xenopixel V3, with either the 82 centimeter blade, or you can choose a 92 centimeter blade. And the price for the Xenopixel model is $397.50 US. Again, they ship free to most areas of the world. And I never like to pay full price for anything. So you can enter the discount code FrugalJedi at checkout, and you will get an extra 10% off your order. Now you know how you can get it configured and how much it costs. Let's move on to the unboxing. This is a really comfortable replica. Easy to hold, single button operation, and looks really nice. It is polished, so you have a polished aluminum hilt with the polished chrome and the polished gold on there. And then of course that leather accent around the back and around the pommel, and the rubberized grip. So yeah, it feels really good. I feel so badass holding this. don't quite have the attitude of Mr. Jackson, but man, I like it. You have a cover tech wheel, so you can clip this to your belt. And we'll take the grip off, and I'll show you how to charge it. And have a look here. They've also colorized the core, so it's gold as well. That looks really cool. Your USB-C charging port's on the bottom. You plug it into charge, it'll say charging, and when it's done, it'll say complete. You have a big 3600 milliamp per hour battery, 30 amps, so lots of power. And flip it around, and you have your micro SD card, so you can add movie quotes, music, more sound fonts, and that's really cool. I love it. Because this is a replica, there is no light around the button. So I enabled the beeping tones, and you can do that using the Xeno Configurator app. That way I can hear how many light flashes I'm doing when I hit the button, rather than me guessing. So while on standby, I can adjust volume. So listen to this, you'll hear a beep.
Volume low.
And then it tells me that was one beep, I let go, and now I'm going through volume.
Volume high.
So I'll leave it at high. If I do it for 2 beeps,
unstable.
That'll cycle blade styles, your stable, your unstable, your pulse, fireblade, rainbow, candy, and there's a whole bunch, and you can discover those. 3 beeps,
photon ignition.
We'll cycle the different ignition types, as well as a few more styles that are disabled by default, and you can enable them in the Bluetooth app. Velocity mode, torch mode, ghost mode. And then holding the button down
Serenity
until it beeps 5 times, we'll cycle sound fonts. And it's going to go through the list in one direction. If you want to go backwards through the list, you can use gesture control. And having it tilted down, going counterclockwise,
the champion.
I can go the other direction through the list. So that's really quick. Now, Xeno V3 doesn't have much music except for 1 track. But normally, if I want to play music, I would have the blade pointing upward, and I would again rotate my wrist this way, which is counterclockwise, and it would play music. I'll have to put some music on here later. To activate the saber, you can twist your wrist, you can hit the button, you can stab, or you can give it a good spin. So I'll stab. And you can see that ignition effect happening there. You can hear the accent swings and the sensitive smooth swing. To do blaster, tap the button. And there's 3 different types of blasters. So this one kind of ripples the whole blade. There's another one where it just lights up certain parts of the blade. And a third one, which I think is more just a big white light flashing. To do lockup, hold it down, strike the blade. And what's cool is that white light moves depending on how the blade is oriented. You have melt, hold it and stab, and it lights up, and as you rotate the handle, it changes color. You can do force effects as well, and a force effect will make a sound effect, and you can put more quotes if you want, because right now all it does is this. It just makes that thudding kind of sound. So I'm going to put some cool Mace Windu quotes on there instead. You can cycle color, and if you rotate it this way while holding the button down, it'll do infinite color. So it's going to go through the entire color palette.
Color select.
Tap it to stop. If you want quicker color, then you hold it down, hold the button down, and twist counterclockwise.
Color change.
And this will go through a quick color cycle, and then to stop it, tap the button. So let's just try to get back to purple here. You can also use the Xeno Configurator app to select your color, which is really quick. I think we're almost there.
Color selected.
Okay. It's more of a pinky color right now, but whatever. To deactivate the saber, you can hold the button down till it retracts. You can twist your wrist, or you can do one of these. If I can do it. There we go. So that gives you a basic understanding of how to use a saber. I'm going to demonstrate it now, spin it around. I'll show you some ignition effects and some different blade styles and colors, sound fonts, and then join me in the end for final thoughts. Time for my final thoughts. I'm going to give this Mace Windu replica by DUPENGDA a score out of 5 stars. First category being value for money. You're getting a really nice looking replica, a 32 or 36-inch blade, your choice. With the Xenopixel, you are getting the Xenopixel blade plug. And this is the first one I've actually owned. The other ones have all been hollow. So with this one, it's cool because you can actually get effects happening in this tiny little blade plug, like rainbow or fire or whatever you like. You get the fancier Allen key, which is nice. But one thing I feel is missing is a display stand. With any replica, it's going to be on display. You need to have a stand for it, and they should really include one. So that's the one thing for value for money. Overall, though, for what you're paying, you are getting a lot, and I'm going to give value for money a 4 out of 5. The next category is design. Now, I don't know how accurate this is to what's in the movies. I don't look at every single small detail. I just look at the overall shape and design of it, and when I see it, I know that this is Mace Windu's. The polished effect is really nice. I like the fact that the core is gold inside. The cover tech wheel is great, and it's very comfortable to hold. You can actually spin it pretty well, so it's really well designed. A couple of small things though. This leather wrap is glued on, and what's starting to happen is that where it tapers right here, it's starting to peel back. So I'll have to put a little bit of glue with a toothpick and kind of glue it down. So that's one issue there with design. The second issue with design is how they have the screws placed on the emitter. I'm not a huge fan of having one screw on each side because I find that when you whack it, it does tend to wiggle a little bit. It works much better when you have 3 screws going around, creating a triangle. It just holds the blade more securely and it doesn't get that wobbling, and you can kind of hear that. So it's, again, I have to grab my screwdriver, tighten it up a little bit more here, and it still does it. So that's my other complaint with design. But aside from those 2 small things, it is really nice, and it's not something that I'm going to be using a lot. It's more of a display piece. So design, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Next up is features. This is Xenopixel V3. So it has 34 sound fonts, the different blade effects and ignition effects, the Bluetooth app, the micro SD card, the accent swings. Features wise, you really get it all. And This is such an amazing soundboard, and yeah, features wise, you're not going to be disappointed. It gets 5 stars. Lastly is quality. The box is alright, foam padded, bubble wrap on the hilt, protection on the blade. Blade quality, you can hear that it's silent, there's nothing rattling around. The quality of the metal and the machining, no sharp edges this time. The etching is nice and deep for the engravings here. It almost looks like Jango Fett's helmet. It's as if this saber was destined to take off that head. Sound quality is superb. Nice bass speaker, rich sound. I like the rubberized grip. Nothing feels cheaply made about this. Like, this feels like it's really good quality. Quality, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. Adding up those 4 scores to find the average, this Mace Windu replica by DUPENGDA is getting an overall score of 4.5 out of 5. If you are looking for a Mace Windu replica, or any replica for that matter, you should really check out DUPENGDA's store, lightsabershop.com. Very competitive pricing, plus the extra 10% off with my discount code is really good. I just wish that it would include a display stand, but maybe they'll change that in the future. Who knows? That wraps up this unboxing and review. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others using their algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this, more unboxings and reviews. And I have some new things happening this year that are going to be mind-blowing. I can't talk about it yet, but it's going to be a big year, 2024, for the Frugal Jedi. And lastly, hit that bell if you want to be notified whenever I release a new video so that you're kept up with all the coolest news. Anyways, I so badly want to tell you guys stuff, but I cannot. I am sworn to secrecy. Until next time, I have been your host, the Frugal Jedi. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.